ILLIT celebrated their first-year anniversary since their debut in 2024 just a few days ago, but in those 365 days they've been a group, they've become an integral part of the HYBE versus ADOR battle. If you want to find out just how badly these giant companies treated them, keep on watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's always an exciting time in the K-pop online space when a promising and interesting new group hits the scene. Since ILLIT's debut was announced, with Belift Lab being their home company, many of their fans were thrilled to see the girls in their full glory. Despite HYBE's messed up history, they've been the home to some of the greatest K-pop groups in K-pop's history, so the fans' excitement was justified. However, they soon became entangled in the HYBE versus ADOR fiasco. Because of this, a lot of casual K-pop listeners who might not be familiar with the entire HYBE scandal might recognize ILLIT as one of the biggest parts in the controversy, rather than recognizing them for their talent and music. ILLIT began to get mentioned in connection with the controversy when ADOR's CEO Min Hee Jin shared her suspicions that ILLIT was drawing too much inspiration from NewJeans. As you may know, NewJeans skyrocketed towards fame due to their fun and fresh concepts and incredibly catchy songs. However, after the infamous audit that took place last year, Min Hee Jin accused HYBE of not giving her or NewJeans the credit they deserved, and accused the company of trying to steal NewJeans' formula and apply it to ILLIT, with hopes they would gain the same level of popularity. Even before Min Hee Jin spoke out about this, ILLIT were accused of being too similar to NewJeans, and while they haven't spoken about this situation yet, it's quite easy to imagine that these comparisons weren't easy to stomach when they were fresh out of the pre-debut trenches and were just trying to make it. The entire situation escalated even further when NewJeans held their infamous livestream in September of 2024, from where the entire Ignore Her scandal stemmed from. According to Hanni, the manager apparently instructed the group he was with to ignore them as they passed Hanni by. Angered by Hanni's confession, netizens flocked to one of ILLIT's videos on their YouTube channel and flooded their comment section with questions such as, "Do you guys know which manager told you to ignore Hanni?" Or "Who told you guys to ignore Hanni? I'm sure it's either ILLIT's manager or LE SSERAFIM's manager," and many more. A little later, HYBE then proceeded to reveal that the manager who was being mentioned was indeed ILLIT's. Following the plagiarism accusations and the accusations of purposefully ignoring Hanni, a lot of netizens and fans seemed to turn against ILLIT, whom they seemingly deemed just a copycat product. Many netizens kept going over the many similarities between the groups, and the girls faced a lot of criticism despite having very little say in the matter. Belift Lab's CEO spoke about the entire situation with OSIN in November of 2024 and shared just how affected the girls were. Mostly, it was reported that the member couldn't believe that Hanni would accuse them of ignoring them. As we all know, showing respect to your colleagues in the workplace is a crucial part of Korean culture. If a Western artist doesn't greet someone, no one really bats an eye, but with K-pop, it's all very different. Not offering a greeting is viewed as a huge sign of disrespect, so it's not a surprise that the girls were taken aback by the situation. Belift Lab's CEO shared in the interview, "The members were especially shocked. They asked, 'Why is Hanni going that far? Did we do anything wrong?' The CEO then described that while the members pushed through and bravely moved forward, they kept to themselves at first, struggling and being concerned that other people would worry for them. So before they managed to get past it, the members reportedly kept saying they were fine." Circling back to the accusations that they were told to ignore Hanni, the CEO assured that no one had ever told them to ignore Hanni. However, as it turns out, the situation is a lot more complicated than that, and it seems as if ILLIT has been the main target of Min Hee Jin the whole time. The first rumors of Min Hee Jin accusing ILLIT of plagiarism, just to sway the public's opinion and make ILLIT the bad guy, started to appear in October of 2024. During one of the court hearings in October of 2024, Min Hee Jin submitted court documents that exposed HYBE for formulating ILLIT's concept and debut according to Min's conceptual plans for NewJeans. Following the hearing, an article from 10Asia appeared with the title alluding that Min Hee Jin wasn't interested in punishing HYBE, but that her goal was to create a buzz. Netizens weren't so convinced about the article's legitimacy, as some of them even claimed it was HYBE's twisted media play to promote ILLIT. As 10Asia's report suggests, Min Hee Jin received legal advice from a law firm that it would be difficult for her to substantiate the plagiarism allegations. However, Min Hee Jin disregarded the law firm's advice and publicly raised the issue for the sake of public opinion. Things started to take a turn at the beginning of 2025 when the truth about what really happened started to come out. On January 10th of 2025, Belift Lab was revealed to have initiated an over $1 million lawsuit against Min Hee Jin. Belift Lab's lawyer opened their argument by stating, "Min Hee Jin publicly targeted a rookie girl group ILLIT, causing significant emotional distress to these young girls." The lawyer further delved into the ever-present topic of plagiarism, explaining how Min Hee Jin claimed ownership of specific choreography despite the choreographies for girl groups often involving repetitive movements with only minor variations. The lawyer continued by condemning Min Hee Jin and argued, "The defendants' actions show malicious intent as they promoted themselves by attacking another group." Min Hee Jin's attorney refuted Belift Lab's claims, condemning the lawyer for relying on their arguments on emotional rhetoric. At the same time, it was also revealed that the ongoing legal battle between Belift Lab and Min Hee Jin cost ILLIT multiple brand deals and posed financial damage to the group. Belift Lab shared that they are seeking around 2 billion Korean won in damages, alleging that Min Hee Jin is the reason why ILLIT's social media followers and album sales tanked. As a result, brands like KT and Pocari Sweat canceled their deals with ILLIT, impacting the group's growth and revenue. Both of these collaborations were very successful in the past, with Won Hee's Pocari Sweat ad on YouTube accumulating over 14 million views. Despite their previous effort to clear Min Hee Jin's name, the most recent court hearing that took place earlier this month on March 7th shows that Min Hee Jin might be the evil mastermind behind it all. On the same day, the CCTV footage from the day of ILLIT allegedly ignoring Hanni on purpose was publicized by ADOR to refute Hanni's claims. Along with the CCTV footage, the company also released KakaoTalk messages of Hanni reporting the incident. The CCTV footage managed to capture and confirm that 3 members of ILLIT bowed 90 degrees to Hanni when they encountered each other in the hallway. It also captured them greeting Danielle in the same way as she walked by. However, the CCTV footage didn't include audio recording, so it remains unclear whether ILLIT's manager told them to ignore Hanni or not. In the KakaoTalk messages, Hanni talked about the incident with Min Hee Jin, telling the former CEO that she doesn't want the issue to be blown out of proportion and that it was Min who made it into something bigger than it really was. Interestingly enough, the KakaoTalk messages revealed that Hanni didn't know if the manager said ignore her or if it was something else. Hanni wrote, "I can't remember if those were the exact words, but that was the general message." Through the text, Hanni recounted how the manager didn't bother looking at her when they walked past her and that one of the members looked unsure of what to do and kept looking at the manager. Min Hee Jin then proceeds to fact-check the situation with Hanni, asking if all 4 members ignored her or if the manager truly told them not to respond to Hanni's greeting. According to Hanni, though, one of the members gave her a half bow and avoided looking at her while the other one did bow but seemed anxious. Hanni then proceeded to share her understatement towards the member's anxiety, mentioning the very obvious rivalry between ILLIT and New Jeans both in the media and inside the company. She also clarified that she didn't feel offended, but baffled would be the right word to use. She added that this situation didn't bother her and that no one should worry about it. So the fact that ILLIT did greet Hanni the way they were supposed to makes the hate and criticism they've received over the past year completely unjustified. On the same day, though, Hanni called out HYBE and ADOR to stop changing things around to benefit their narrative. Taking to New Jeans' new Instagram account, Hanni expressed her frustration through Instagram stories. She wrote, "How can you take one part of a conversation and shift the meaning of it to benefit your point of view when I was the one who wrote the message?" She then asked HYBE and ADOR to stop tormenting her. She also threatened to get vocal about the situation if the companies continue to have the audacity to make even more false assumptions about the group. However, it seems that the situation is nowhere near being solved. It was revealed that the CCTV footage provided by ADOR during the court hearing was from a different date compared to Hanni's accusation. This led many netizens to believe that HYBE used the CCTV to prove that ILLIT had not ignored Hanni and because they were unable to disprove her claims towards the manager. New Jeans' legal team also made the entire situation even worse by changing their statement in court. In the beginning, Hanni had claimed that ILLIT were told to ignore New Jeans despite possibly wanting to greet them, but their legal team started to claim that ILLIT purposefully ignored them as well as mocked them through their words and actions. However, they failed to provide any sustainable evidence, so it remains unclear if anything like this even happened. The past year hasn't been kind to ILLIT, and Iroha getting emotional during one of their most recent fan meetings drew empathetic reactions from netizens. Many netizens felt saddened that the first year of ILLIT being a group was filled with so much hatred and criticism and encouraged the girls to stay strong and keep their heads up. We can only agree with the netizens' words and wish ILLIT nothing but the best in the near future.